Hello, guys, and welcome to Pisces season. My name is Theron. I am the Cosmic Journey. I come here today to discuss what to look forward to in the Pisces season. I will say the premise of um, my channel in general is to get you in to realign with yourself, to start trusting, believing in yourself, and I do that by using astrology, among some other things. You'll see me um, every once in a while talk about maybe some human design, some numerology, a card pool, but my primary focus is in astrology and working with astrology again to align with yourself, to become more in tune to yourself, where you trust yourself, you learn to really love yourself and not being held back by false perceptions of what other people think of you, and you be able to know what it is that you think of yourself and stand in that. So, all right, so let's get started. So we're going to talk about Pisces season. Um, Pisces season, the sun goes into Pisces on February the 18th. My opinion, and what I looked at studying the astrology, Pisces season is going to have us look at our conditioning. And we're going to have to see whether we're living life in fear or with like a fear conditioning, or are we living life in a faith conditioning? Now, faith conditioning doesn't necessarily mean that you're about whatever religion and what you believe. Faith is just what it is, faith. The fact that you believe in something that is in the unknown, you believe in that you're supported by something greater than yourself. Um, you believe that as you begin to walk on your path, the path begins to, the more you walk on the path, the more the path becomes visible to you. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, but you have the faith that all is well. So yes, Pisces is going to have us to really sit and think, how are we approaching life? Approaching it from fear, or are we approaching it from faith? As the sun is traveling through Pisces, it's going to shine a light on what needs to be healing in our spiritual world, in our connection, our oneness with other people, how we are interacting and taking care of each other in this collective. On February 23rd, Mercury will then enter Pisces. And for those who may not know, Mercury does not like traveling through Pisces. It doesn't like visiting there. But nonetheless, um, there's things that you may want to pay attention to while it's visiting Pisces. Mercury, among all the wonderful attributes of Mercury, one of the lesser attributes is a trickster. And one of the lesser attributes of Pisces is delusion, escapism. My caution here with Mercury being in Pisces is to pay attention how you're believing your own bullshit, and pay attention how you get sucked into other people's bullshit. And I say that because remember, I started off saying that we're going to be challenged to understand how we're conditioned. Are we conditioned coming in life? I mean, are we living life conditioned in fear, living life conditioned in faith? Holding on to, in my opinion, holding on to the faith will help you cut through some of the BS that could be coming towards you. Nonetheless, that can come towards you. Nonetheless, being in Pisces, hidden secrets, hidden enemies can come forth. And again, you have to be in a place where you're going to see what is, instead of all of the illusion that is in your face or that's being said, talked to, communicated with. What you see is that won't feel real, won't seem real. You have to get yourself to a place where you can stand firmly in knowing what you know and understanding and it's going to take listening to your intuition, listening to your body, connecting inward for yourself so you to know which way to go and what to believe and what not to believe. The day after Mercury goes into Pisces, we are having a full moon in Virgo. Okay. So, full moons, the moon is the bright in the sky. The moon and the sun are opposite one another. And so that moon is illuminate the sky. What is the moon trying to show you in the darkness? It's like, what is it turn like its flashlight? What is it turning this light on? Um, in the regards to who you have around you that no longer healthy for you on an emotional realm. Who is still a part of your environment, a part of your collective that you keep making benefit of the doubts for when it's time for you to um you may still have a somewhat of a relationship with them, but it's time, I always say, to change their seat, to move their seat around. They shouldn't sit so close to you. um who is what's coming up for you in that regard when the moon is we have the full moon in Virgo. And what makes me think, like, the full moon in Virgo, it's like this relationship, you have worked very hard. You have worked very hard to make it whatever it is right now. And it's shining a light on that. And what it's asking you to do is, again, change their seat. They can't sit where they're sitting now. Whoever this is about, they can't sit where they're sitting now. They need to change their seats. They need to be at a different table. They may even need to be in a different room, different city, different whatever, but they can't be around you right now because their presence, their interaction, you're working so hard to make their life more comfortable, is making your life uncomfortable. Is causing you to hold yourself back. It's causing you not to live out in your fullness the way you deserve to be. So on the 24th of February, when we have this full moon, pay attention to what your intuition is telling you. Pay attention to the signs, the things that are coming up, some unexpected truths that come up. Pay attention to those and um, start, even if you may not do something about it in the moment, pay attention and don't lose sight of what it is, and what the message is trying to tell you. Because if you begin to continue to hold on to people out of fear that you won't ever meet anybody else again, or you will never be allowed to dinner with these people again, whatever it is, if you condition it in that fear, um, and you keep trying to hold on to these relationships that are no longer functioning for you, on an emotional level, I can see that starting to, like, hurt you physically. There'd be some physical, it'll show through some physical health issues. Um, you will find yourself, yeah, maybe dealing with an illness or a sickness, or just not feeling good, just not having energy to show up for yourself. Um, if there's more of the faith based, everything is all well. I'm going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to listen to that small voice. And I just know that when I do what I hear, the guidance, and I follow that guidance, um, the path will start to show itself as I go forward. It may not be easy. There may be like mourning a loss or an ending, but you also know that when there's something that ends, simultaneously something begins. And so you you walk that path, you listen to that guidance, and that guidance leads you, like I said, on a path that you don't see the whole trail, but as you walk on it, it starts, different pieces of it starts to show, and you start realizing you're going in the right direction. um Someone that's fear based can do this as well. It's just kind of hard to stay on that path, especially because most of it is unknown. And sometimes someone that is fear based will revert, turn back around, go grab those people that they were guided to let go. And it makes it just so much harder in the long run. And again, I really believe that it will come out in some sort of physical issue, um, yeah, in your body. So pay attention to that. All right, so February 28th, we have a stellium where three planets will be conjunct right next to each other, really like right on top of each other, in the same degree. We're going to have the sun in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, and Saturn in Pisces. I want to say off the top, if you are in a business, possibly a spiritual business, um, you may see a shift and a change in that business. Saturn is dealing with the natural house for Saturn is the 10th house, for where's Capricorn, and that is um, your business, your work, and it can be some changes there. If it's not business, then you may have you. I've already talked about how Mercury and Pisces can. I want to say, I guess, untruths, like the trickster, and because Pisces also has some delusion, there could be like very much being in a la la land, communicating in a la la land, and it's not a healthy one. It's not one that sparks that what people were doing when they were in a, being delusional and noticing how the universe was working out. This ain't that. This is more of actually tricking yourself, not in a non-healthy way. Saturn may come in like a brick wall. Well, you might run into that like a brick wall, and it's going to shake you like to your core. Like, what was I believing? What was I doing? Why was I on that path? Why was I doing that? Um, Saturn is highly practical. Saturn actually cares how you out here portraying yourself. Um, so therefore, if that it has, you know, you begin to do something that, like I said, self-sabotaging with believing your own bullshit and all of that, Saturn is going to bring you back to reality somehow. Um, yeah, it's going to bring you back to reality somehow. At least that's why I think it's going to, um, we're going to see it where the lie can only go for so long. And then once that lie comes, it has to be the phrase I'm thinking about, it has to be pulled to the carpet. Like, you have to bring it like straight in everybody's face and see what it is, and exposed. So be mindful of that, because like I said, Mercury with Pisces, um, a lot of untruths can come up, hidden lies that have been kept from you from a long time, or just lies just to manipulate and to kind of control your movement. And if you're not the one doing it, and it's being, you can be having it done to you, or you could be the one doing it. And when you come up to that conjunction, I feel like that's going to be the brick wall that says, oh, and it's going to also put you on that path that is more beneficial for you, that's more optimistic for you. And it's going to make you realize what you holding on to, that fear base, is no longer serving you as well. Now, leading up to here, if you get this, you're going to get this far. But once you get to, say, March 3rd, we're going to have another opposition with Venus in Pisces will be opposing Virgo and, I'm sorry, Lilith in Virgo. Similar to the full moon, far as that opposition goes. But here lies, how much work have you done from the full moon up until this point? Because if by chance you have been doing the work, you're going to start seeing the breakthrough of how to show up for yourself, how to care for yourself, how to communicate to yourself, and how to manifest the life you want, and what practical steps you need to take to get there. You're going you're going to realize that doing this healthy thing for yourself may seem to be um, selfish, but it's not. You're going to realize doing this, not this healthy things for yourself to manifest, to build to the life that you want, to align with yourself, actually is the most beneficial to all the people who are still around you. You are able to show up authentically, to be there, to hold space for them authentically once you do this step. But the work has to have started a couple weeks prior to this. Um, it doesn't have to be completed, but just enough work for you to see um, almost this beam of light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I'm understanding how I need to talk to myself. I'm understanding how I need to love myself. I'm understanding how I'm connected to myself and to something greater than myself. You're starting to understand that. And once that takes hold, you have the ability, the courage, the know-how to make the practical steps to get there. This is not going to be um, love and light and easy as Sunday morning. You're going to have to roll your sleeves up. But you can see that rolling your sleeves up, getting busy, getting your hands dirty in this, moving the dirt around so you can prepare for those seeds and intentions that you're going to want to set when um, Aries season comes in and we start talking about setting the seeds of intention. This is you realizing what this soil needs, where your hands need to get in and break the soil up, and to make it as healthy, and what does it need to make it as healthy as it needs to be to accept the seeds of intentions that you're going to want to plant going forward. A couple of days after this, Venus and Lilith oppose each other. Then on the March the 7th, the Sun will oppose Lilith in Virgo. So it's really like a third validation that um, your your desires, your wants, your needs in life, um, they're there for you to create the life that you want. And Lilith will really be in there to like give you that courage, that to say, I am going to make this space for myself. And I know if I make this space for myself to, like I said, create the life that I want to create, that is going to be beneficial to others. It's going to serve others as well as it's going to serve myself. But I have to have the courage and to do it. I have to have the faith that I can do it and it can get done, and everybody around me will be beneficial for it. If you're still plagued, or that figure still has like in a chokehold, um, you're, to be honest, you're just gonna have a very hard time and going to have a lot of frustration when it comes to why is it that um, I'm trying to manifest one thing, but this other thing keeps showing up, because where you're vibing is what you're magnetizing. And the one thing I want to say about the faith based, having, and again, I'm not attaching faith to any religion, just faith in the definition of what it is. Having that type of that faith faith based belief will actually help you vibrate in higher in the area that you need to vibrate to magnetize what it is that you want in your life. So it's, all these things kind of work together. So yeah, I wanted to put that out there because the sun is going to be the next validation of this whole creating the life that you want, live, trying to manifest for yourself. Because say that now you cross over the threshold, you understand how you want to like fulfill your dreams, how you want to love yourself, take care of yourself, create the life that you desire, all of that. Say you crossed over that, right? Mercury will conjunct with Neptune. This is going to be an opportunity where when your intuition lights up and you begin to dream, um, yeah, dream about that life and really start to feel like that life is reachable. You start to, uh, yeah, feel into your desires. Mercury will then be there to help you plan this thing out. It'll help you, yeah, plan and organize this thing out, seeing what needs to be worked on first, what needs to happen next. Like you can really like map it out, because I've been told, and I do believe, once your intuition ignites, then we use our logic and our practicality to put in the steps to make it happen. And that is exactly what this energy feels like to me. That you're going to be dreaming big. You're going to feel like I can do this. This is attainable. I can grab hold to this. And Mercury's like, yep, you sure can. And all we have to do next is call so and so, or do such and such, or make sure we're here because there's a conference here. It's going to start giving you the practical steps to make it happen and to make it be like a sustainable, a reachable, tangible thing for you. As the very next day, excuse me, Mercury will be going into Aries. So now the conversation's on, let's make this happen. What we got to do. Let's get this happen. We done had the dream. We understand how we need to show up for ourselves, how we're going to show up for others because we're going to show up for ourselves, how we're going to love ourselves, and how we're going to create the life we want. Now, let's make this happen. How we're going to do this, who we need to talk to, how we need to organize, how we need to get ourselves in alignment so we can actualize these dreams. So March the 10th, there's a new moon in Pisces. So, new moons are the times where people will set intentions, new moon, new intentions, but if you've been doing this energetic work or already going within, listening to your body, you already know what the next step is for you, where that intention needs to lie. This new moon should be validating that. New moons are it's dark outside. They're very dark, dark moons. And the energy of the new moon or the darkness of the new moon stays around about 3 days. So in that time, it's not what you see, it's what you don't see, and what you feel is going to be more validating for you, far as everything we've talked about this new this new you aligning into the new you that should be taking hold at this time. And then just in time, Venus decides to travel into Pisces. Now, Venus and Pisces can be a good time. They both like beautiful things. They love, they very creative, magnetizing. So you could find yourself magnetizing like soul connections. You can relate soul relationships like that really connect to your soul, that has that like that real healthy bonding. You can also attract finances, things that are stabilizing and sustainable for you. Um, so having Venus come into Pisces is going to um, shine a light on their connection with each other, and how it plays out in how we're manifesting that life that we're trying to recreate. So before the moon goes into Aries, it's going to stop by and align with Neptune as well, like Mercury did. But here's the sun. The sun is lining up with Mercury. It's asking, okay, are you now, um, are you able to express yourself in this new way of being? Lead your life in this new way of being. Are you are these dreams that you have come up with, are they a part of you now? Are you actually embracing them and wanting to show the world and show um, who you are authentically to the world? you know. So, because we've done, if you listen to, there's a lot of work that's going to have to be done in this Pisces season. So, when the sun, as it begins to travel out of there, we're going to be talking from that space if we, in a sense, did the assignments. Um, or we may be still in that fear base. We might get sucked into some illusion that, a false narrative of some sort or something else, and hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully you get through Pisces season a little bit drawn more closer, more aligned to yourself, and you get through Pisces season and you understand who you are, what you want to accomplish, and have the courage to go for it. So happy Pisces season, and I'll see you again in Aries.